You didn't buy that new phone because you needed the camera, you bought it because you're terrified of looking broke. Welcome to modern America, where your financial worth isn't measured by your investment portfolio, but by the titanium edges of the device in your hand. Every September, millions of 20 and 30-somethings willingly sign up for 24-month financing plans. Not for innovation, but for survival. It's an identity market. Your old device didn't magically stop working when the new keynote dropped, your confidence did. Tech giants don't engineer better hardware anymore, they engineer social shame. They spent billions blending consumer electronics with social dominance, forcing you to pay a status tax just to feel visible in your own friend circle. You are trapped in the fake rich loop, financing depreciating gadgets to maintain an illusion of wealth, while your actual savings bleed to death. You think you're buying technology. In reality, you're buying a $1,200 mask to hide financial insecurity. And the worst part? The excitement lasts exactly 72 hours, but the debt cycle resets every single year. Let's break down the math of the ultimate American hustle. The average corporate worker in their late 20s or 30s is grinding 50 hours a week, chasing a salary that inflation eats for breakfast. You aren't rich, but you desperately need the world to think you are. Enter the status tax, the recurring subscription fee you pay to corporations just to maintain your entry ticket into middle-class cool. In the US, true wealth is invisible. The guy with a $2 million index fund portfolio is driving a 10-year-old Toyota Camry and wearing a plain gray t-shirt. But the guy struggling to clear his credit card balance is the first one to drop $1,200 on a titanium flagship phone on launch day. Why? Because when you can't afford a $500,000 house, and you can't afford a luxury sports car, a brand new device becomes the cheapest way to buy instant validation. It's micro-flexing for the financially vulnerable. Tech companies realized long ago that Americans don't look at the total price tag, they look at the monthly payment. They repackaged a $1,000 luxury liability into a frictionless $45 monthly installment. It sounds harmless. It's just 2 Chipotle bowls a month, right? Wrong. This is psychological warfare. By making the payment invisible, they completely remove the pain of spending. You walk out of the glass store feeling like an absolute elite, completely blind to the fact that you just signed up for another multi-year financial handcuff. You're trading actual future freedom for a 72-hour dopamine hit. This is the definition of the fake rich trap. You are renting an identity from a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate because your peer group has normalized the idea that carrying last year's tech makes you obsolete. Your friends aren't looking at your savings account, they are looking at your camera lenses. And that insecurity is exactly what finances the corporate balance sheet. This isn't about utility anymore, it's about visibility. Digital culture in America has turned personal electronics into wearable status symbols. Keeping your phone on the table face down is the new luxury flex. If your device doesn't have the right number of cameras, you are subtly labeled as non-essential, stagnant, or struggling. It's an unspoken corporate tax on your self-worth. You are literally working days of your life to buy a piece of glass and aluminum just to prevent a microsecond of judgment from people who are also drowning in debt. The loop is toxic, completely relentless, and explicitly designed to keep your net worth at zero while you look like a millionaire on Instagram. You aren't paying for tech updates. You are paying to avoid social irrelevance. Let's strip away the marketing fluff and look at the cold corporate sabotage happening right inside your pocket. You didn't break your device, it was updated into degradation. This is the dark reality of planned obsolescence through software. Tech giants have masterfully solved a massive capitalist problem. How do you sell a $1,000 product to someone who already owns a perfectly functional one? Simple. You code an artificial shelf life into it. Think about it, your phone runs flawlessly for 18 months. But the moment the new model's keynote presentation concludes, your apps start to stutter, your keyboard lags, and your battery drains twice as fast. It's not your imagination, it's a calculated, resource-heavy operating system update designed for newer hardware that systematically starves your older processor of RAM and efficiency. They don't need to physically break your glass, they just make the user experience so irritating that you start convinced it's time to upgrade. It's systematic psychological wear and tear, engineered by multi-trillion-dollar conglomerates. The sabotage runs deeper than software. It's physically hardwired into the chassis. Welcome to the weaponized war against the right to repair. Manufacturers have intentionally fused glass to screens, used proprietary security screws, and microchipped individual internal components so that local independent repair shops can't fix them. When the lithium battery inevitably degrades after 2 years, which costs the company less than $15 to manufacture, they slap you with an official $90 to $120 repair bill. They intentionally make fixing your current device inconvenient, time-consuming, and artificially expensive. When you are sitting in a store facing a $100 bill on a 2-year-old phone, your brain immediately runs the numbers the corporation wants you to run. Why spend $100 fixing this old thing when I can just roll that money into a brand new upgrade for only $45 a month? It's an engineered trap designed to force you to defect from your perfectly good asset straight back into their recurring financing loop. But here is the most brutal mathematical truth that will shatter the illusion completely. Put a 2024 flagship next to a 2026 flagship. Strip away the cinematic ad campaigns and look at actual daily utility. For 95% of what you actually do scrolling social media, checking emails, navigation, texting, and casual photos, the operational difference between the two generations is a marginal 3 to 5% speed increase. You physically cannot perceive a 5% performance bump in daily life. You are paying a $1,000 premium for consumer electronics arbitrage. Let's look at the lifetime cost of this compliance. The average American household burns roughly $1,700 every single year on sequential tech upgrades. Over a 40-year adult cycle, that is $68,000 straight out of your pocket. But the true financial tragedy is the opportunity cost. If you simply broke the upgrade cycle, kept your tech for 4 to 5 years, and invested that identical annual difference into a standard index fund yielding an average 8% return, that capital compounds into over $340,000. That is a massive down payment on a home, a college fund, or years of early retirement freedom. You aren't buying a faster device, you are literally liquidating your future financial sovereignty to fund a tech company's quarterly earnings report. Let's talk about the absolute blueprint of the American dream, and how your pocket gadget is actively destroying it. Every young adult in their 20s and 30s in the US shares the exact same primary desire: true financial autonomy. You want to stop trading your hours for a corporate paycheck. You want to own a home without a crushing mortgage, and you want to look at your bank account without an immediate spike in cortisol. But here is the brutal psychological misalignment. We have been systematically trained to value tiny, short-term microflexes over generational stability. You comfort yourself by saying, "It's just an extra $40 a month on my phone carrier bill." But that $40 is a financial mirage. It is a leak in your ship that prevents you from ever anchoring in deep wealth. In America, you are either funding your own freedom, or you are financing someone else's stock dividend. There is no middle ground. Every single upgrade cycle you choose to participate in is a direct, conscious liquidation of your future retirement safety net. Let's look at the brutal math of what you are actually trading away. The housing market in 2026 is absolute warfare. Buying a $500,000 house feels completely impossible for the average millennial or Gen Z worker. You look at the down payment requirements and think, "I'll never get there, so I might as well enjoy the new flagship device right now." This is a fatal psychological surrender. When you add up the collective tech ecosystem, the upgraded watch every 2 years, the noise-canceling headphones, the tablet, and the premium subscription bundles, the average household is bleeding thousands in disposable income annually. If you stop playing the sequential upgrade game, extend your device lifecycle to 4 or 5 years, and redirect that exact frictionless monthly financing capital straight into a diversified wealth-building asset, the trajectory shifts entirely. That compounded capital is your down payment. That is the cash injection that takes you out of the permanent rental loop and locks in real property equity. You aren't just choosing between an old phone and a new phone, you are choosing between a depreciating piece of consumer glass today and a deed to real estate tomorrow. The ultimate currency in modern society isn't luxury goods, it's time. The tech marketing machine wants you perpetually trapped in a state of manufactured dissatisfaction because a satisfied consumer is a corporate nightmare. If you are satisfied with what works, you stop spending. If you stop spending, you accumulate capital. If you accumulate capital, you buy back your time. It's an elegant extraction model. By keeping you hooked on a loop of annual validation, they ensure you stay just broke enough to keep grinding in a 9-to-5 loop to pay off the financing plans for the devices you use to scroll through social media at work. Break the matrix. Realize that a 3-year-old device that sends texts, runs apps, and takes crisp photos is an asset that buys you freedom every single day it stays in your pocket. Stop paying the status tax. The next time you feel the urge to press buy now on an incremental tech update, remember this: you aren't paying with currency. You are paying with weeks of your life that you will have to spend working just to break even. Lock in the silent wealth, keep what works, and invest the brutal difference. It's time to stop being a victim of the marketing matrix and execute a total financial pivot. In America, the ultimate power move isn't showing off a new device, it's weaponizing your capital through silent wealth. True high net worth individuals don't chase digital visibility, they chase asset accumulation. If you want to escape the fake rich loop today, you need to change what you consider a status symbol. A brand new phone on a monthly carrier plan isn't a sign of luxury, it's a receipt of a successful corporate manipulation. The new flex isn't having the latest triple camera setup on the table, It's having a bulletproof investment portfolio that compounds while you sleep. Here is the exact actionable blueprint to reverse the extraction machine and turn depreciating tech liabilities into appreciating financial sovereignty. Step 1. Implement the strict 4-year tech rule. A flagship smartphone built in 2026 is engineered to easily last 5 years with basic maintenance. Do not even look at a product keynote until your device hits the 48-month mark. Step 2. Execute the battery arbitrage. When your phone slows down or the battery drains after year 2, do not buy a new $1,200 device. Spend $89 at a certified center for a fresh battery installation, factory reset the storage to wipe out software clutter, and instantly gain 2 more years of optimum performance for less than a fraction of the cost. Step 3. Master the refurbished market. When an upgrade is genuinely necessary, bypass the retail store entirely. Buy a certified refurbished flagship from 2 generations prior at a 40% discount. You get 95% of the performance, a full corporate warranty, and you let the previous owner absorb the brutal initial depreciation. You are buying identical daily utility at half the price. At the end of the day, the upgrade illusion isn't about technology, it's a test of your financial maturity. Every single time you stand in a line or click pre-order for an incremental upgrade, you are voting for a system that profits entirely from making you feel inadequate. You are confirming that their psychological manipulation worked. The tech industry doesn't see you as a consumer to serve, they see your bank account as a resource to harvest on a predictable 2-year schedule. Break the cycle. Realize that true status in modern America isn't defined by what's in your pocket, but by what's in your portfolio. Stop renting an identity from a multi-trillion-dollar conglomerate. Keep what works, secure your financial freedom, and invest the brutal difference. If this video finally shattered the consumer matrix for you, smash the like button, subscribe to Sky Invests, and drop a comment below. Are you buying a tool, or are you buying a mask? I'll see you in the next one.